most of the time. We don't realize how much awareness, how much joy, how much love is available to us. And we find it natural to be in that sleepy state, and we think it's the way we were created to be. But it really is not. We are here in that physical body, in that physical world, in that physical atmosphere, which is in a way like a pea soup. We are swimming in a pea soup of ignorance. And sometimes we emerge, and we bask in the sunlight, and we are feeling so elated and so joyful. And then we find ourselves back in that kind of semi-sleep, and we forget. We forget who we are. We forget what we are created to be and to feel and to sense. And so we are here to remind each other, and we are here to ask for help from above. And every time we listen to something that is inspiring us, like some wonderful great music, it's important to use that as a tool to lift ourselves higher. Not just take it for granted and enjoy it, oh yeah, that's fine, and then go back to our routine of worry, petty worries, and sort of great depression. The state of half depression, half normal. We don't realize what the normal state of consciousness is basically a very needy, insecure state. We need a lot of compassion, and we need to know that Hashem has a lot of compassion for us. Hashem loves us immensely, eternally, forever and ever. And all his angels and all his tzaddikim and all the millions of highly evolved souls that are in this world and in the world beyond are there for us. And they would like to help us and would like to assist us, but they need our cooperation. They need for us to reach out to them and to ask for help. This is why, the tzaddikim come to this world. God knows it's difficult for them to come and be born to this world. It takes enormous self-sacrifice for them to come to this world. And they choose to come here in order to uplift people. And they want to do it because they know they will be reminding people their connection with God.
Mm-hmm.
So just for that, they make this enormous sacrifice of coming here. Because when they are up there, they live in a world of bliss that we can't possibly imagine. The bliss is so intense and so beyond words that we don't realize the sacrifice they are doing in coming here. But they do it very willingly and joyfully because they know that they'll have a chance to uplift thousands of people and spare them some much worse mistakes and tragedies in their lives. Because when people are uplifted even for a few moments, it gives them direction for the rest of their life. One visit with a tzaddik can be completely life-transforming. And even if it is not completely life-transforming, even if it is just some deep soul insight that comes to during those few seconds with a tzaddik, it lights up the way for the rest of a person's life. When they have moments of despair, moments of rage and anger, they remember that sweetness they received from those few moments with a tzaddik, and they let go, they just drop all the negative, dark emotions and go back to a state of sweetness. It redirects the world. And something that we don't appreciate enough, the power of the tzaddik, because he's so connected with the infinite power of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is eternal and infinite. And we as souls are emulating the work of the tzaddik also. We make a tremendous sacrifice choosing to come here in order to purify ourselves, to strengthen ourselves, to make ourselves great, and to overcome and to figure things out, and to help others and to have compassion for others.
What does a tzaddik actually do for you?
He just reminds you of who you are, reminds you of your connection. It depends on who it is, everybody has a different experience. Some people finally feel loved. Someone loves them. Someone honors them. And for some people this is lifesaver, because they never have a sense in their life. When Rav Shlomo went to visit the prisoners in the jail, there was one story that people like to tell that happened, because some of his students went with him. This tough guy that was the worst criminal in the jail, very scary, was listening to Shlomo for a few moments. And then he approached Shlomo, and Shlomo gave him a hug. And he burst into tears, and he said, if I had one hug like this in my life, I wouldn't be sitting here in jail. And that's very much what we can do for people, People are in jail with their insecurities, their sense of worthlessness, the sense of not going anywhere, the sense of hopelessness, the sense of hurt and feeling wronged, feeling misguided, feeling cheated. There's so many bad experiences that people go through from their childhood. They desperately need healing. They desperately need someone to, you're so precious, Don't listen to what other people say. You are a precious soul because you are a child of God. You are a child of an infinite creator, and you have a way to connect and reconnect. Don't give up, don't despair ever. You have an amazing potential at hand. And we all need to hear that voice, even if we are in a very comfortable state of mind, if we have learned a lot, if we have evolved a lot, we always need to hear that voice. You are precious in the eyes of God. You are so precious in the eyes of Kadosh Baruch Hu, and in the eyes of all the tzaddikim that have returned to the higher worlds and are still watching over us. And you are so honored for your courage to live in this physical world and to survive and to try your best. And you are so beloved. You are beloved children of the Most High. You are so good and so wonderful, and your potential is infinite because your soul comes from that infinite source, and you have awesome potential, awesome victories ahead of you.
Infinite potential.
Right.
How do we take that and bottle it?
Mm-hmm.
How do we learn to manifest this infinite potential?
Right. One thing we need to learn that's very important, when we connect with this love from on high, when we know that this is our true identity, we are children of the Most High, our soul belongs to the infinite, one who loves us eternally, then when we focus on that, my true self, my true identity is God's child, then we know that, then it becomes a lot easier to let go of all the hurt, insecurities, anger, desire to have vengeance, to whatever it is. We're not even aware of those feelings we collect from childhood.
Mm.
And it's important, okay, I let go of all this. This is not really me. This is just illusion,
Mm-hmm.
I've been collecting all that illusion ever since I was a little child. And it's important to realize the difference, who am I truly, and who is this human side of me that is so scared and so vulnerable.
Mm.
And
So it's the superhuman part of us that has the infinite potential, not the human part with its frailties and insecurities.
right,
That's the part that doubts our infinite potential.
right,
That's the part that's dreaming and is sleeping from who we truly are as powerful, infinitely potential, infinitely powerful, creative.
right, yeah,
And that's really what creativity is.
right,
Creativity is allowing yourself to understand the creative impulse that God made us in his or her image
yes,
to create
yes,
just like God creates.
yes, yeah,
And there's a certain freedom in creativity
yes, it,
and confidence in knowing that you can do it.
yeah,
But it also takes skill and discipline. If whatever creativity area, if you're a cook, you're a chef, you're creative with the elements of your craft. If you're a doctor, if you're a therapist, you become skilled and you become better at that game.
yes, you have the right words. Yeah,
And then from that mastery, you gain creativity because you're flowing so easily with the basic skills that you could start improvising.
right, 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 right. But the key is to remember the love that is surrounding us. The love that is supporting us, that gives us life at every moment. And when we focus on that love, we say, God, I'm doing this for you. It's my great pleasure. And may it uplift many other people. So that makes a whole world of a difference. Then the right words come, then the right movements come, then the right decisions come. Because you do it from the heart. Yes, 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 I love to do this for you. It creates a personal relationship with God, which we really miss a lot. We miss that connection, deep connection. And this is one thing we need to reach out to again and again. To remember, okay, I'm dropping what makes me angry and upset, and I'm turning to the eternal love of the Supreme One, the eternal loving kindness of God. I know this is the true reality. This is what I'm here for, this is what I'm acting for, this is what I'm directing my thoughts to, this is what I am opening my heart to. And the basic teachings in Judaism is you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your heart, and with all your soul and with your whole being, with whole intensity, your whole veriness. The translation of the Hebrew word meodecha, with your veriness, with your intensity, with your whole being. And if we just remember that, we can remember it every moment of our life. And it's the key to our mission as the Jewish people. Because when we love God, whatever we do will be from a place of love, a place of joy, a place of inner bliss, you know.
Beautiful.
And we need to also remember we need to let go of our preconcepts of who God is. Because, you know, when we are children, we are told, you know, he's doing this, he's doing that. So we get some kind of an idea, but it's not the real, true concept, which is, you know, infinite. The concept of God keeps going on, stretching out for infinities. But we need to remember that our concept of God is very, very loving. The way to understand God is basically to focus on the love in our heart. When we send our love to Hashem, the response comes in our deeper connection with Hashem, deeper sense of who Hashem is, which is the source of love and the source of life, the source of blissful love. This is what is important. We are created for this blissful love. It's the essence of life. It's where we are going. And it's our destiny. It's our purpose. So we can, the more we focus on this blissful love from heaven, which is, you know, constantly pouring down over us and waiting for us to respond to it, to respond to this, then our life becomes meaningful, filled with joy and strength and compassion for others, and a sense of being protected, being safe, having a reason to be. That is very important. That every moment of our life is very important. Whether we flounder around, or whether we make mistakes, or whether we are reaching up to the highest, or whether we are kind to people, every moment is very important. Because the mistakes are to teach us. They are opportunities to realize how much more there is to learn, and how many opportunities we have to learn, and how great we can become, and how courageous we can become, and how valiant and how heroic we can be. We are really heroes, you know. And don't let anybody else discourage you and make you feel inferior, or make you feel incompetent, or make you feel I'm nothing, you know, I can't accomplish anything, I'm doing nothing. All this is an illusion, you know. Sometimes other people make you feel that way because they themselves feel that way, and they want to feel above everybody else. That comes from a place of inner despair, you know. When people make you feel bad, just know that inside they are despairing about themselves. So have compassion for them. We can laugh, we can turn it into a joke. You know, somebody can be screaming some insults at you, and you may laugh inwardly and say, this is what they think about themselves, so I feel sorry for them.
Yeah. You know, it sounds like all these little insights could be developed into a class, into a course. Just needs to be organized. Let me ask you, the one point you discussed, you've said many things, that each one of them is a skill that we need to master and practice. You know, if we have one pattern, we have to work at erasing that pattern, whether it's self-talk or the way we feel in life, and how we, like you said, there are many things in our society that are pulling us down.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that? That they don't strengthen us, they don't give us hope.
Right, and what's important is to recognize them. You are the thief. I caught you. the negative thinking is like we're on a battlefield,
And we sort of buy the media without thinking about it. We just take it
Yes.
whole and complete like a pill. We swallow it,
Yes.
and we don't challenge it. And
Right.
we think just because it's on television that we have to watch it. It has to be
Right.
that it's true, that
That's
it's good.
Right.
Especially if it's presented by a good-looking person, or it's a
Yes.
lot of colors.
With a good voice. Yeah.
So, what are the things that we need to be aware of to?
So this is a skill that a lot of people are developing today with the internet, because you find so many negative voices and deceitful voices, and we're just learning to be very wary.
Like a lot of comments on YouTube, people comment some positive things, but there are many negative, very, very negative
Right.
people out there.
Yes. Yes. Right. And the sad thing is that, we are being exposed and all that mud is being splashed into our face. And what do we do when that mud is splashed into us? It's always to go back up, And coming from a place of compassion helps us free ourselves. When people you see people negative like this, you realize that they are steeped in that negativity, and they are cooking in it, and they are, losing their sense of well-being and goodness. They're in bad shape. So if you send them compassion, it does help.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it frees you from the heaviness of the attack. How can you take things seriously when you send compassion to someone who showers insults at you or sneakily tries to deceive you? You just send them compassion and say, okay, the day will come when you will wake up, and maybe the day will come when you will ask forgiveness to all the people that you have wronged. Because, everybody lives for a few years, and then we have to go back up there and see what we have done and watch a few revelations as to what our life was like. And we can review a lot of people who had near-death experiences. First thing they saw is a review of their life, and within a few minutes their whole life passed in front of their eyes at an extraordinary pace. And they all said that I couldn't believe it, but I saw every moment of my life and all what I did. And I felt terrible about the people I wronged. And I felt so good about all the people that I helped and assisted. I saw everything. And usually it's in the company of a holy presence that is showing them all this. It's fascinating. The near-death experiences are fascinating. And there's thousands of them that have been recorded in books, in videos, and in person. Because they made us realize, so this is what we are here in this world for. We are here to learn from all our experiences, to learn how much we depend on our choice, and that we do have a choice, and that we need to use our choice every moment. And we have a freedom to use it well. And this is God's gift to us as His children. We are so fortunate. We have a great future ahead of us. There is no way of knowing what God is waiting to give to us, but it's infinite joy, infinite bliss, infinite creativity, infinite adventures, infinite well-being, sense of feeling purposeful and feeling loved forever.
Those are great words. Joy, adventure.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so thank you for this beautiful interview. I think this is the first of many, and we'll just take a little break now. We give you a rest, and
So that knowing that.
okay, so to be continued.